So if you happen to follow my channel for bicycle videos, which I think a lot of my subscribers are here for that, which is cool, you'll know that the bike stand is a big upgrade for me because I've been doing everything on the ground. Also, this isn't a GT Aggressor. It's still here. This is a road bike that I bought just for riding a baseball, basically, because I put aggressive tires on my Aggressor, and it's a real bear to get down the paved trail to get into town for baseball practice, but I wanted to get the miles on the bike, so I found this on Marketplace for like 75 bucks. I did a build out, like, review video on this bike. This video will be in the playlist for that, but this video is going to be upgrading the front brake, only because when I got this, it was from like an Amazon pallet buyer, like reseller, and it was missing the hardware for this brake. So I made this, drilled a bolt, made this. It worked kind of, but you can see where it slipped on the cable, and the front brake still grabs, but not when there's any pressure on it. So for the cost, like 20 bucks, 21 bucks, I'll put the link in the description, but for the SRAM Apex, I believe. Yeah, Apex front brake. We'll throw that on there. If it works that much better, I'll probably put one on the rear as well. But I'm also gonna make in this video, there's also gonna be some maintenance. This front wheel doesn't, or rear wheel doesn't spin that great. Plus I gotta get this dork disc off there because I just can't stand the way it looks. And I can't get first and seventh on my, when I shift, it'll go in the air down into seventh, but not first. But on the ground, like actually riding, first and seventh on the cassette, I can't get. And if you watch the other video, the video of me building this bike out, the shifter that came on it was all bent up from shipping. So I got this Shimano, pretty cheap on Amazon, only like 20 bucks. It may just need adjusted. I've never really messed with it because, again, I was sort of trying to figure out if I could do a one by in the rear and just keep the front two, the 2-speed up front, which I also don't love, but I'm not ready to go single speed yet. I don't know if I'm not a purist enough or if, but I'll tell you the truth is I just don't have the legs for it. But in the meantime, I'd like this thing to function how it should. So I'm gonna try to adjust this rear shifter so I can get all my gears, check tire pressures. I did ride this the other day, and it's Pennsylvania, so everything's muddy, even the roads. But do some maintenance, pull that rear wheel off, probably grease that axle and the bearings. Same thing up front. The front does spin pretty free. Put that front brake on, try to adjust my shifter, and yeah. Hopefully, I'm like 100 miles in. I'll put a picture in there. I was gonna do a 100-mile review. I don't think I ever did, but I am at the 100-mile mark, like 101 on this bike. And it's like under $300 on Amazon to buy this bike. I do believe it's kind of not a great bike. It's okay if you're a mountain bike guy and want to put some miles on the road because, you know, your mountain bike's not that great on the road. Big, you know, knobby tires, aggressive tires, lots of roll resistance. I think this is a great option because with some proper tuning and putting it together and putting, you know, I have an upgraded shifter, but I wouldn't even call it upgraded. It's still a very low end Shimano. But point is, I put 100 miles on this thing. It's enjoyable to ride. The only thing that I've had go wrong to this point, other than that front brake, which isn't the bike's fault, is, if you'll notice, I have 2 master links on the chain. And that's because I did snap that chain. Climbing a hill, I shifted. Knew better, but I did. Again, I don't even think that was the chain's fault. It is a KMC chain, it's like pretty high quality chain, so, and I'm content with 2 master links, so don't flame me for it, is what it is. But yeah, looks wise, I'm not crazy about this bike, but it gets the job done and it's way faster, way more efficient than the mountain bike on the road. So yeah, stick with me. So first issue, this would work, but I'm not getting a bunch of threads. This is the original nut off the original brake. It comes with, that SRAM comes with all these longer ones. You know, they don't know the thickness of your fork. I really could use this one to get a couple more threads. However, it won't go through the fork. So I think I can just put a drill bit in there and make it a little bigger. right, so the front brake is on. Much better. A little cable end pinched on there, red to match. I ran out of red ones, but I also shortened this cable at the front derailleur because it was hitting my crank arm. It was working the cable back and forth. It never hit my leg, but it was hitting the crank arm, and you could see where it was breaking the cable apart. So yeah, the shifter's doing funny things back here. So now onto the back wheel. The other issue with this bike was the front derailleur. If you put it to high, it would push the chain the whole way off the sprocket. So just a little bit of adjustment there. We're full way to high, and it's not pushing the chain off the sprocket. So that's great news. Go to low, drops right down to low. Go to high, well, no, it's good. Right there, no drag on that front. The whole way in high, you can't push it off. You have to be real careful while you're riding to not push it to high too fast or the whole way or too hard. But now it stops thanks to these two adjustments here. This is inside one's your low. When you're drawing it back, it's how far it pulls back, and the outside one's how far it pushes forward. So that's handled. Now we're gonna pull this back wheel off, take the cassette off, grease it up, hopefully get into those axle bearings and grease them and get this dork disc off there. So I just made a couple quick adjustments off camera just to see on my high and low adjuster, and now it goes to 1st and 7th. So I guess we got it with just a quick adjustment. They were in 1st, we'll go up to 7th. I know you shouldn't shift it like that, so it'll be okay. Now we're in 7th, no rubbing, which it was rubbing earlier. Sounds a lot smoother. I'll go halfway so nobody freaks out that I went all of them. Okay, we're getting a little rub up front. I can adjust that just a little bit. Yeah, pretty darn close. And we have now 14 gears, so that's great. All right, so tuned up the shifter, got that brake installed and properly adjusted. Looks a lot better too. I'm probably gonna end up going with the same brake in the rear, although it works. And this bike is literally a commuter, if you will. It's not, I'm not looking for necessarily performance. Just needed something to get down the paved road and trail a little easier than my mountain bike. But I also got that dork disc off because that looked crappy. I can't stand the way those look. But yeah, got a 90 PSI in each tire. Lubed the chain, lubed both axle bearings, front and rear. I think we're good to go for the summer. Again, thanks for watching. This will be in the playlist with the other cheap road bike video. So yeah, my overall take on this bike is for what it's what it's made to do. If you stay up on the tuning and maintenance, I think it's a pretty good bike. So thanks for watching, and maybe I'll get to 200 or 300 miles on this thing this summer. Like I said, it does like 4, 8, maybe 8 miles, 6 to 8 miles a night during baseball season. Then it pretty much sits. I do try to catch a couple road bike rides, but I don't really enjoy riding it like a distance. Not really my thing. I like riding the mountain bike, but it'll probably get a couple 100 miles this summer, so maybe we'll do a couple 100-mile review on it when we get there. But yeah, like I said, for even with the upgrades I've done, I'm still like at the $100 mark or just over it, so certainly worth it. Thanks for watching.